I've seen a lot of things in college football this year that have made me shake my head, but this right here, it's up there with the best of them. Me personally, if I was an Oregon football player, I'd be taking this as pure disrespect, and I know they're going to take it that way. And the scary part is they didn't need any more motivation than what they already had. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you had a great Christmas. Hope all of you are currently having a great Christmas break. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man, in tonight's video, we got to talk about the #1 team in the nation, and that is no other than the Oregon Duckies. They have been DOMINNATEING all year long. Nobody's been able to stop them. They haven't lost a game. They've just been able to steamroll the competition. Nobody's been able to stop the Ducks. And there's been a lot of question marks about almost every single team in college football this year, including the playoff teams outside of Oregon. They've been the one team that nobody, I mean not a single soul out here, has argued and debated with on whether or not they're a legit playoff team or whether or not they deserve that #1 spot. But with all that being said, for some odd reason, people aren't just doubting Oregon. In my humble opinion, they're disrespecting them. I would take it that way, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and I know for sure that Dan Lanning is as well. We're going to talk all about that in tonight's video. We're also going to take a look at some other bowl games that are happening on Friday, and like I told you in yesterday's video, we're going to be reading off some of the comments. I asked you guys, #1, to tell me your favorite Christmas movies, and #2, when was your last white Christmas wherever you live? Really excited to see what you guys got to say in the comment section. Strap in, buckle up, get you a snack, get you popcorn, get your favorite meal you like to eat when you watch a video, because trust me, I do the same thing. But alright, man, blah, shut the crap up, and without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first things first, this is the top like comment on yesterday's video. Shout out to Joseph. Always see my man Joseph leaving some nice comments, so let's take a look at this. I don't think you understand how much you mean to us. Marty be pregnant by Diddy. Okay, haven't seen that one before. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Joseph. That comment really means a lot to me, and I greatly appreciate it. Brian said, thank you, Matt, for pushing through the sickness to keep us entertained. Hey, man, no need to call me a hero, just doing my job. I'm trying my best, that's for sure, and now that you bring it up, I'm still currently sick, and hopefully I can get over this soon, because it feels like I've been sick forever. Let's take a look at this comment. As someone who lives in Texas and never gets snow, we got snowed 3 years ago, and I think I know what you're talking about. That's when y'all lost power and stuff, but let's continue to read off. And it was one of the greatest days of my life, but the days after we had no water, no electricity, yeah, so that's exactly what I'm thinking of. And everything was crap, but that first day will always be one of the best memories. I don't know what it is about snow in the Southeast. Maybe it's because it's pretty to look at, it's rare. But those are some of the days. I'm talking about when you have big snowfalls in the Southeast and you're not used to them. Those are some of the best days, and like this comment says right here, some of the most memorable days of your life. Michael said, best Christmas movies. Die Hard, man, I want to say I watched that years ago, but I can't remember it. Lethal Weapon, Bad Santa, that's top tier. And oh yeah, this is the top of the top. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It is not Christmas if you're not watching the Griswolds. Come on, man. Matt, let's be real. Sometimes I absolutely hate you. Wow, what a way to start off a comment. But you don't care. You're out here making content for us while you feel so sick. You're like the big brother at 355K little brothers. We're all just having fun, living our best life. Thanks, man. Merry Christmas. The beginning of that comment is still getting at me. That is a wild way to start it out. Maybe I said something bad about his favorite team, but that's what Christmas is. We got to put all of our differences aside, come together, and appreciate one another. Mosey Ballard said 09 and 2010 was his last white Christmas. That was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Christmas Eve blizzard in 09 dropped over 14 inches. I'm going to say that again, 14 inches in 2010. Nearly 2 feet fell on Christmas Day. Extremely rare in Oklahoma to have a white Christmas at all, but these two back-to-back events were something to see. 2011 was a bad winter too. That was the last of those gnarly winters from 06 to 2011. I feel like everywhere in 2011 had a bad winter because in northern Alabama, that was one of the worst winters of all time when it comes to snowfall. James Bond's little finger says, watching from outside Spokane, Washington. This is the first time in a while that I have not had a white Christmas. Shout out to Washington representing in the comment section, and I'm not going to hold you. I'm jealous because I've only had one white Christmas in my entire life. So apparently Wisconsin had a white Christmas yesterday. Congratulations. That must have been a sight to see. I wish I could read off all these comments, but we're going to read off 2 more because unfortunately we do got to get to the football stuff because there's already some people right now going, man, what was going on? We're talking about Christmas. We're talking about movies. Let's talk about some college football. Calm down, buddy. We're getting there. I'm in Florida now, but I was 14 on that white Christmas in Alabama you're talking about, referring to the 2010 white Christmas. I'm from Madison, Alabama. I know exactly what you're talking about, but moved down and went to school at Muscle Shoals, and that was the whitest Christmas I've had yet. There was another period of time in 2014 or 2015 where around February we had 3 weeks of continuous school cancellations because of snow and ice. I actually remember that period of time you're talking about, and I just know there's some people up north going, what? No school for 3 weeks? And yeah, because in the southeast, we don't have the equipment that all of y'all have up north and wherever else. So when it snows, like a huge snowfall down here, we get a ton of ice, you just gotta wait for it to melt. And if it doesn't melt, you're just out of luck. One more comment. My last white Christmas was today. What the crap? What do you mean your last one? That just happened. I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania, which on average, my apologies, is the second snowiest city of the U.S. I just imagine the guy who wrote this comment lives in a log cabin in Erie, Pennsylvania. He's got his feet kicked up, 48 inches of snow on the ground outside while he's watching some Christmas movie and drinking a nice cup of warm hot chocolate. Oh wait, one more comment, I just stumbled across this. This is from Tracy Boy. In Ohio, our last white Christmas was 2014. What? In Ohio? I thought it snowed in Ohio all the time. That was 10 years ago. That is shocking to me. And guys, I would love to read off all these comments and whatnot, but we gotta get to move on to the football stuff. We'll talk about Oregon first, and I'll give you some of my preview and predictions for the Friday bowl games. Like I said in the intro, Oregon, they're number one team in the country on paper, and I think in everybody's opinion, they earned and they deserve that right and honor. There's no reason that anybody that keeps up with college football should be sitting up here trying to convince you that there's a team that's better than Oregon. It just doesn't make any sense. When you look at teams 2 through 12 this year in the playoffs, they've struggled at times, and the only team that doesn't have a blunder is Oregon. They have one of the best offenses in the nation and a really good defense to go along with that. For the longest, though, and I get sick and tired of it, Lowbro State fans are trying to argue and say, whoa, I don't care if we lost to Oregon. That was on the road, and it was only by 1 point. Jeremiah Smith, he didn't push out that guy. And finally, Lowbro State fans shut their mouth when Big Bro Michigan being for a 4th straight year, and yeah, just put an end to all of that. They were no longer clamoring and arguing that they might just be potentially a little bit better in Oregon. And your other teams like Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas, Penn State, still remaining in the playoff, I don't think anybody's going to argue and say they're better than Oregon either. So it's unanimous. Oregon is the best team. Can't emphasize that enough. It's not like this is super close, guys, because it's not. The gap from 1 and 2 has been huge all season long. But, and I have a ginormous big but, and you guys know this, despite that, guess what? Oregon is not favored in their next ball game. They're the underdogs. Yes, that's right. You heard me correctly. The Lowbro State is favored over Oregon. The team that has not won but 2 losses already this year is favored over undefeated Oregon? What? The 8 seed in the playoff is favored over the 1 seed? Huh? What's going on? And if you want to get deeper with this, we can. Ohio State is favored over Oregon more than Georgia is favored over Notre Dame. In other terms, the public out here thinks there's a better chance that Ohio State beats Oregon than Georgia beats Notre Dame. Imagine being Oregon, win all your games, do it pretty convincingly, you get the number 1 seed, and you're still an underdog. It's like, come on, what more I got to do? To go on top of that, you're sitting here going, oh yeah, well, Ohio State's a good team, but I wonder if there's a way we could decipher who's better between us and Ohio State before we play them. Oh wait, that's right, we played them earlier in the season, and we beat them. You mean to tell me we beat these chumps? And we're still the underdogs? What sense does that make? Let me put this into a better perspective, give you a better example. Imagine beating somebody in a 1v1 pickup basketball game outside with your homies. You beat them, and as soon as the game's over, everyone goes, yeah, I'm still taking the other guy to beat you in a rematch. What? It's like, dude, did you not see me beat him? Yeah, but I don't care. I'm still taking the other guy. And it'd be different if it was some major upset when Oregon beat Ohio State earlier in the season, but it wasn't a major upset. Oregon's the best team in the nation. Why are they underdogs? I have no idea. The only thing I can assume, and this has got to be, it's got to be it, right? It's because of what Ohio State did to Tennessee, and the rest of the nation's like, oh, God, man. Ohio State, when they're playing like that, nobody can beat them. In which I agree with, but Ohio State is not always going to play like that, and you know Oregon's going to give them a way better shot than Tennessee did. I can't tell you enough how much I don't get this one. And this is the definition of recency bias. I'm telling you right now, if Oregon didn't play that game against Tennessee and Ohio State and Oregon were matching up in the first round, Ohio State would not be favored. There's no way, man. And I think people are being way too optimistic with Ohio State. Now, they most certainly can win the game, but they should not be favored in this matchup. Oregon's the number one team in the nation for a reason. And I'm curious, let me know in the comment section. I'm not asking you who you're picking in this game. I'm asking you, who do you think should be favored in this game? Do you think it should be Ohio State or Oregon? I've seen a lot of things in college football this year that have made me shake my head, but this right here, it's up there with the best of them. Me personally, if I was an Oregon football player, I'd be taking this as pure disrespect, and I know they're going to take it that way. And the scary part is they didn't need any more motivation what they already had. Before I get too carried away, let's talk about some of these other bowl games we got going on Friday. We got Oklahoma and Navy. We got Vanderbilt. What about that? Vandy and Georgia Tech, Texas Tech and Arkansas, Syracuse, Washington State, and USC and A&M. Oklahoma Navy. I'm going to give this one short and simple. Give me Oklahoma. Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech. And I just thought about this, guys. We got the battle of the nerds. These are the nerds of the SEC and ACC. Who's going to be the king of the nerds? I'm leaning towards Georgia Tech. We got Arkansas and Texas Tech in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Give me Arkansas in this one. We got the fighting Kyle McCords versus Washington State. The Cuse is hot. Give me the oranges. And last but not least, at 9:30, low-key past my bedtime, we got USC and A&M. Give me A&M. USC, they are not very good. They got a lot of problems, and A&M, they just seem like they got a better culture going on. I'll take the Aggies. Many more things I could say. Let me know in the comment section who you got in these games. But,